When we think of happiness, we often imagine pleasure, fun moments, laughter, or feeling good. But over 2,000 years ago, Aristotle, one of history's greatest philosophers, had a very different take on happiness. He believed it wasn't just about feeling good, but about living well, about purpose, virtue, and fulfillment. This is what he called eudaimonia. So today, we're diving into Aristotle's philosophy of happiness and how it's quite different from the way we think about happiness today. Aristotle's idea of happiness is called eudaimonia, a Greek word that doesn't directly translate to happiness as we know it. Instead, it's closer to flourishing or living a fulfilling life. Aristotle believed that true happiness wasn't about pleasure or momentary joy. It was about living a life aligned with one's purpose and virtues, which meant being the best version of oneself. Think of eudaimonia like planting a tree. True happiness is not the thrill of planting it, but seeing it grow, nurturing it, and witnessing its impact over time. Eudaimonia is about growth and cultivation, rather than immediate rewards. In modern times, we often equate happiness with pleasure. A fun night out, a tasty meal, or a shopping spree, these are pleasures. They're great in the moment, but short-lived. Aristotle thought this was far too shallow to be real happiness. For him, happiness comes from something deeper purpose and meaning. It's like the difference between a sugar rush and a balanced meal. One gives a quick high, the other sustains you. Aristotle believed that pursuing pleasure alone was like chasing that sugar high, whereas eudaimonia provided lasting nutritional value for the soul. So, how do we achieve this lasting happiness or eudaimonia? Aristotle believed it required living a life of virtue. For him, virtues were qualities like courage, wisdom, honesty, and kindness. These weren't just nice traits, they were essential to a fulfilling life. Imagine someone who's honest even when it's difficult, or courageous, even when they're afraid. Living by these virtues, Aristotle thought, brings a deep sense of satisfaction because you're acting in line with your highest potential as a human. Take the example of a teacher who goes above and beyond to help students, not for praise or reward, but out of a sense of responsibility and care. This is eudaimonia in action. Their fulfillment doesn't come from fame or fortune, but from the satisfaction of nurturing young minds. But living by virtues alone isn't enough. Aristotle also talked about phronesis, or practical wisdom. This means knowing how to apply these virtues in the right way at the right time. Think of it like a musician who not only knows how to play each note, but also understands when and how to play it to create beautiful music. Practical wisdom is about knowing how to live a balanced life, understanding when to be assertive, when to be gentle, when to work hard, and when to rest. So, why does Aristotle's idea of eudaimonia matter in today's world? In our fast-paced lives, we're often chasing instant gratification, always looking for that next hit of happiness. But Aristotle reminds us that true happiness comes from a slower, deeper process, one rooted in purpose, growth, and connection to others. Take people who find happiness in their careers, not by climbing the ladder quickly, but by building something meaningful over years. Or parents who find fulfillment in raising kids, not for immediate rewards, but for the legacy they leave behind. If Aristotle were here today, he'd probably encourage us to think less about happiness as something we get, and more as something we do. To live a life of eudaimonia, try to focus on building your character, practicing virtues, and engaging in activities that help you grow. This could mean learning new skills, helping others, or even just being honest with yourself. To wrap up, Aristotle's concept of happiness, or eudaimonia, challenges us to go beyond pleasure and look for lasting fulfillment. It's about being the best version of ourselves, living by our values, and contributing to the world. Maybe happiness isn't something we find, but something we build day by day. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of philosophy and self-growth.